Hello everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about Dockers and containers. So this session is for beginners and for those who are completely new into the Dockers and containers. So this video will be a good kickstart for them. And in this video we will be discussing about what is VM first and why we need VM, how Docker and container replaced VM, and why we need containerized applications. So at the end of this video you will be knowing all these things. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So first thing first, why VMs? As you can see here, the architecture of normal desktop which we have, there are different hardware resources at the bottom. On top of it there is an operating system, and inside that operating system an application is running which will be requiring this operating system to run all the things. So this application is supported by this particular operating system. Now in this scenario you can use only one specific OS and all the applications supporting the specific OS. Now coming to the VM, how VM solve this problem. Using the same hardware, as you can see at the bottom, you can have multiple operating systems, suppose Windows, Linux, iOS, different operating systems, and you can run applications of particular operating system using the same hardware resources. As you can see here, there are the real and physical hardwares. These are virtual hardwares, and this is the operating system which you want to install for particular application. This is operating system 2 for kind of application 2. So this is how VM solved the problem. Now coming to the containers. As you can see here, the left side, this is the architecture of VM which we discussed now. Here you can see this is the hardware. On top of that there is a host OS, on top of that hypervisor, and on top of that host OS is there. This hypervisor is actually intermediate between the host OS and guest OS. Whatever instructions an application will give to guest OS, finally host OS will transfer it to the guest OS will transfer it to the host OS, and hypervisor will translate these instructions into the host OS understandable language. Here you can see in VM architecture there are binaries and libs which will be used by an application. So this is the main thing for application to run, libs and bins. Then why to have this host OS? That is the question. And if we will going for host OS for particular application like guest OS, so if we will install full OS for running an application, that will be more costly and will require more hardware and space. But all we need is bins and libs. Now in containerized architecture you can see there is a hardware, and on top of that there is a host OS, and Docker is installed on top of this host OS, and it will give the bins and libs for running an application. So an application will be packaged inside a thing called container, and that container will have sufficient OS, which means the binaries and libraries to run the particular application. So in that case we don't need the full OS to be installed. So we can have multiple number of applications and replicas of it running at the same time. But in VM architecture we will be having only limited number of applications running, as it requires a lot of space to run the guest OS. Now coming to the need of container, why we need containerized applications. The answer for it is, traditionally we will be using, like we used to have monolithic applications. So in that, it was very heavyweight and all are combined into the one. It's very hard to manage if one resource or one component of it will go down, because it will use the whole OS. As you can see in the picture also, it is using, like it's combined in all UI, business logic, data access layer, all are combined in one. So it was a very heavy weight and it's very hard to manage. But here in microservice, you can see the UI is here, and different components and different business logics or whatever is running into a microservices. So these are the containerized applications, you can say, the containerized applications. Sorry. So it's a very lightweight and easy to manage. If one component will go down, you can make it up, and the other replicas will serve for time being, and this is very easy to manage also. And this is the only reason why we are going for containerized application. So that's it from my side, and in future I am going to make more videos about how container is working, and more hands-on videos I will show you, and then we will go for Kubernetes and all. Thanks. Thank you.